Good morning, everyone. It is Marla Copal, the Vitality Mentor, and this is March 23rd, 2020, and it is 8:30 a.m. in Colorado. And so we're in Mountain Time Zone, and many of you already have your days off and busy and going, and you're watching the news because it's just the time for us to kind of watch the news. And I think a lot of us are still amazed at people who aren't getting it, meaning the need to stay home. Now, I have to admit that I had to control my inner rebel a little faster than most people because at the age of 71, it was like, get real, Marla. Your 22-year-old brain that wants to still do things like you used to do and defy the odds. It's just craziness right now. So I got socially responsible for at least my family and sheltered in place 12 days ago. As I went to the grocery store yesterday to pick up my order, parked outside, dial in, they deliver it to the back of the car. I had the back door open. I sat up in the front and I had a very nice conversation with somebody. I did realize I'm kind of missing that in-person eye contact, even if it's only 6 or 7 feet away. But I felt smart. And then, she's reminding me of the senior times for shopping at the store, 7 to 8, and on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And I was very appreciative of what they were doing. But I came home and I thought, well, I could do that if I made a mask because I don't want to make a mask. I mean, I didn't want to go without a mask. And then I'm looking at it and it's like, yeah, I don't want to make a mask. It's not because I'm lazy. I have the skill, I have the talent, but really I don't want to make a mask because I don't want to find an excuse to go out. I want to participate because we don't know the effectiveness of a mask. It's a deterrent. It's a possibility that it will help, but it may not be the whole answer. So I realized that as I'd been talking about making a mask and going out to the store and everything, that, I didn't see the concern in my husband. But what I can see is when I share that, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to call in the order again. Now, the order I called in last week, we got 1/3 of it. So I called in another order. I made another order. It's always 3 days out. So I have no idea what the supply is, but we decided that if I had to, I'll make an order every day for just small stuff. See if we get it, see if we don't. It's a crapshoot, but it's something I'm willing to do because one, I'm in control. Now I've had a lot of friends volunteer to go to the grocery store for me, but no, my need isn't that high. I've got enough food here for at least 6 weeks. And even if it excludes the fresh stuff, I got beans and canned goods and we'll make it work. So I don't want to be part of the problem. And so I'm grateful that my friends made the offer and I'm glad they're feeling healthy and I'm glad they're still out there because in some cases, some need to be there, essential people. But I don't need to impact their time anymore because I have created a plan that will work for me and my husband, and we feel very comfortable with it. And we actually rediscuss the plan every day just to see if there's anything else we could do for others or ourselves. So this brings me to my topic for the day, be the solution. So I want to offer you an example that my grandfather, it's a story that's been passed around. Obviously, I wasn't around at that time. But he was a John Deere implement business owner in a small town in Colorado. And this is the time of the Dust Bowl. And I don't know what year this occurred, but we're looking at Dust Bowl and we're looking at Depression. And he was part of the solution because here's what was going on. It was a very, very, very cold winter. And everybody who's not even having money to buy food and to keep their families healthy, they all needed to farm in the spring. One, to just keep up the food supply chain. So he brought in 2 box cars with coal, set them on the siding in Holly, Colorado, and he told everybody, you come take what you need to keep your family healthy. So in those days, that was just common sense. to help your community and to make sure they could thrive and be there. Well, you know what? For all of us to stay home, it's like putting those coal cars on the side of the railroad. Stay home or take the coal out of the car. Either way, be the solution. So here's something else that I'd like to share is we live in a day and age when everybody likes to throw this phrase around called pay it forward. Interesting. Well, if you take a look at my grandfather and putting that coal on the side of the tracks in Holly, Colorado, maybe he was paying it forward. But are you paying it forward if you are not social distancing or you are not sheltering in place, whatever is your option? Interesting, the people at the beach, interesting people still out there in large groups beyond even 5. I know the rule is 10, but my goodness, is if you're not at home with your family, are you really in too large of a crowd? We don't know if we're carrying this virus unless, it may take 10 days. So we could already have it and we could be touching too many people in the wrong way. So let me come back to my point. We have the opportunity to be the solution here. And right now, the only solution we know, whether we agree with the mandates or not, it looks like that the fewer of us that are out there getting exposed, the less impact we will have on our health system. That's step one. Step two is don't share your stuff with somebody else. Yes, we've been all taught to share and be little good little kids, but this isn't the time to share. This is the time to be just selfish, take care of yourself, and stay home. And if it feels like your inner rebel wants to do the 6-year-old in the sandbox routine, well, maybe you just have a conversation with that 6-year-old because, whether they're 6 or they're 60 or they're 90, now it's the time for us to all grow up. Now, so be part of the solution. Here's the thing that's going on. I watched my aunts and my uncles and my dad and my mom get culturized because the situations they lived in with the Dust Bowl, the Great Depression, and even World War II, they had a lot of interesting choices that they made based on the side of caution. And then my generation comes along and it's the 60s and the 70s and you take risks and you just go out there and you expand your world and you do everything with everyone. And now we have a choice again to hunker down, to be part of the solution. In those days, they turned off the lights at 6. They had blackout drapes in the windows because you didn't know. They had night watchmen walking the streets. They put coal cars on the side of the railroad and shared coal with families who didn't have anything so that they could farm in the spring. People were coming up with positive solutions, as are many people today. But if we have a pay it forward culture, and somebody uses that phrase on me after this is all over, I'm going to add a question. I'll say, how soon did you shelter in place once we were requested to do so? So if they are in pay it forward and they're still not doing all they can to reduce exposure to others, my question is, what are they paying forward? Are they paying forward the wrong thing? Are they paying forward an opportunity for the world to respond even more poorly in the future? Are they paying forward the fear that comes when we realize we have a culture and a community that does not know how to pull together? What are the lessons that we are going to learn in this pay it forward time of our life where people really cannot practice that 100% in good conscience? It's a phrase that's a little bit been concerning to me for a while, and it's even more concerning for me now. So if your behavior has you at the beach, has you in crowded hallways, and you're not an essential personnel, You don't want to share Pay It Forward with me because I'm paying it forward by staying home. And I would like to suggest help if you need sanity because staying at home is too lonely. I offer a call every day at noon. And if you need that, you message me on Facebook and I will send you the Zoom link so that we can all check in. We have about 5 of us now doing that, but I want to be there every day for you. If it's 30 days, 40 days, 60 days, I'll be there. So now my request is please share this with anybody you'd like to. You can subscribe to me on my YouTube channel, The Vitality Mentor. If you need to stay connected, if you text Marla to 64600 and pull it's actually a business card. You can put it on your phone screen, but there is a text and an email like ASAP. I don't know that I can help you, but I know that I could calm you down. And I do know that I have over 150 alternative care professionals that I could resource to you all over the United States and some in Canada. So if you really, really have a high need and feel very, very disconnected, let me connect you. That's what I can offer now is resources. I'm really good at finding the resource that you might want to check out. I won't promise it'll always be the solution, but it's one more connection that you may not have today. So let's build those connections. Let's find the solutions that are out there, and it's be the solution. So thank you very, very much for listening today, and I'll be back on tomorrow at 8:30 Mountain Time to see what else we can do to pull together as the community of the world, fighting something that's very, very much beyond any of our comprehension. Happy Monday, everyone.